50% of the KBB value for your trade. It's as simple as that.
It's easy at Sheehy.com.
Tonight, the developing story, the images coming in right now, the showdown south of the border. Thousands of migrants marching through Mexico, heading for the U.S. border. Tonight, President Trump now calling it a national emergency, vowing to send in the U.S. military. Breaking news tonight, the shooting at a TV station late today. Authorities looking at this surveillance. The suspect smashing his way through glass doors, a security guard then opening fire. New images emerging tonight of Washington Post writer Jamal Khashoggi in his final hours with his fiancée going into that consulate. The Saudis now acknowledging he's dead, first saying it was a fist fight, now saying it was a chokehold, a rogue operation. If this was a fight gone wrong, where is the body? The tragedy on the raging river, 4 Americans and their guide killed in a rafting accident just 5 minutes after the ride began. Tonight, you will hear from one of the survivors describing all of them trying to hold on to any part of the raft. The monster hurricane tonight, a Category 4, it will affect the U.S. mainland. Ginger standing by with the new track. Just in tonight, authorities moments ago in the case of that missing 13-year-old girl. New details. After learning her father answered the door and was shot, now word tonight of 2 vehicles they're looking for. And it's now $1.6 billion up for grabs. And tonight here, the one number that has come up the most.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to start another week with all of you at home. And we begin tonight with the drama unfolding south of the border tonight. President Trump watching very closely, and he has already made it very clear he will make this a major issue just 2 weeks now until the crucial midterms. Thousands of migrants marching north through Mexico, hoping to reach the U.S. President Trump calling it a, quote, national emergency, vowing to send in the U.S. military. The president saying hiding in the thousands of marchers are violent criminals and people from the Middle East. Our team on the scene has found no evidence of that. Many of the families say they are trying to escape violence and extreme poverty at home. One woman overcome by the heat. There is no shelter, no food along the route. Many are risking their lives. But the debate here at home tonight, should the U.S. be their destination? ABC's Matt Gutman along the route where Mexican authorities have just responded tonight, what they're now saying about those migrants on the march.
The president is now calling it a national emergency. A caravan of migrants traveling towards the U.S.
And you can see how many people are here, how many families just waiting for orders, waiting to see what they're going to do today.
The caravan's numbers have grown since it began a week ago, 500 miles away in Honduras. About 7,000 people now traveling north. Their shortest route, 1,500 miles to Brownsville, Texas. President Trump today tweeting, without any evidence, criminals and unknown Middle Easterners are mixed in.
Take your camera, go into the middle, and search. You're going to find MS-13, you're going to find Middle Eastern, you're going to find everything. And guess what? We're not allowing them in our country.
We took our cameras into the middle of the caravan, and what we found were desperate families like Blanca and her 3 children.
So, for Blanca, there is a serious concern that the gangs who killed her husband are going to come back for her family and the rest of them, and so it's just not safe either in their home or their city.
It's been 3 days since these people crossed into Mexico illegally. They were met with riot police and waves of tear gas, some jumping off the bridge to the river below. Today, hungry and footsore, they prepare to head out again. Ambulances sent out by the Mexican government treating this baby. They marched on, so many clinging onto and off of trucks.
This is incredible. They're riding atop this fuel tanker by the dozens, and they're being tossed food and sandwiches and water.
The heat suffocating. This woman collapsing before us.
And Matt Gutman reporting in tonight from southern Mexico. And Matt, President Trump has not made this a secret that he will push this hard straight through the midterms. We've heard him bring it up at several rallies already. And there in Mexico, you've heard from authorities just moments ago holding a press conference saying they're going to try to keep the migrants from getting any further north.
That's right. Over the past few days, we've seen them simply allow them right through, and that's why you see these migrants pouring right past these ambulances and down this road. But now they say they're going to draw a line in the sand, not allowing them to go out of this state. And, of of course, head northwards to the U.S. border. David.
All right, Matt Gupman in Mexico for us tonight. Matt, thank you. Back here at home and to an alarming scene unfolding late today at a TV station in Washington, D.C. A man smashing his way through glass doors, a security guard, then opening fire. ABC's David Curley is on the scene tonight.
Breaking news right now out of D.C., a shooting at the studios of Fox 5.
Not just one, but two doors kicked in by that suspect at the Fox-owned station in Washington, D.C., with police looking at this video tonight as part of the investigation. Once getting through that second door and entering the TV station lobby, a security guard confronted the man, firing one shot, hitting him in the chest.
Police are still standing outside the station, figuring out exactly what happened here.
The suspect is described tonight as alert and responsive after the shooting. He did not have a weapon. But tonight the question is, what was his motive? What did he say inside that lobby?
What kind of conversation did you get into?
Well, it's still an active investigation, and we're not going to divulge any of that information at this time.
No one else in the lobby at the time of the shooting was injured.
So let's get to David Curley live outside that TV station tonight. And David, a source now telling ABC News the suspect was familiar to local law enforcement.
Known by the D.C. police as having a history of mental health issues, David. D.C. police also investigating why the security officer, he or she, discharged their weapon. David?
David Curley tonight. David, thank you. We're going to turn next this evening to new images now of Washington Post writer Jamal Khashoggi in his final hours. Take a look. Seen with his fiancée just hours before he went inside the Saudi consulate. Saudi officials now admitting he's dead after once saying he left that consulate alive. Now they say it was a fistfight, then a chokehold involving a rogue group. And tonight, CNN has been given these images. Turkish authorities say the Saudis used a body double dressed in Khashoggi's clothing, leaving the consulate early on. But tonight, if this was a chokehold, a fight gone wrong, where is the body? ABC senior foreign correspondent Ian Pannell in Istanbul, and President Trump was asked about this again today.
Tonight, new images leaked by Turkish officials appearing to challenge the Saudi narrative on how Khashoggi was killed. Surveillance footage shows the Washington Post writer leaving his apartment and walking hand in hand with his fiancée, then arriving at the consulate and what would be a last goodbye. CNN's been given what appears to be more surveillance video, described to them by Turkish authorities as one of the key suspects, dressed in Khashoggi's clothes, leaving the back of the consulate shortly after he was killed. Similar clothes, glasses, and even apparently a fake beard. The suspect seen now in Saudi custody, calling into question the latest Saudi explanation of what happened, that this was a tragic mistake.
This was an operation that was a rogue operation. This was an operation where individuals ended up exceeding the authorities and responsibilities they had.
The Saudis at first claimed Khashoggi left the consulate alive. It took 17 days for them to admit they killed him, first saying in a fistfight, later saying he died in a chokehold position. Overnight, the Saudis releasing a statement saying King Salman and the Crown Prince called Khashoggi's eldest son to express their condolences. Today, the president and his son-in-law Jared Kushner, who has a close relationship with Saudi's Crown Prince, both saying they want more information, but also insisting they don't want to walk away from a key ally.
We're obviously getting as many facts as we can from the different places, and then we'll determine which facts are credible. I'll also say that we have to be able to work with our allies.
I am not satisfied with what I've heard. I don't want to lose all of that investment that's being made in our country. I don't want to lose 1 million jobs.
After so much speculation, so many leaks, Turkey's president promising to go into details with exactly what it knows in a speech early tomorrow.
Ian Pannell joined us again from outside the consulate. He's in Istanbul again this evening. And I mentioned there a moment ago, Ian, that if this was a fight gone wrong, a chokehold, as the story seems to be at the moment, where is Jamal Khashoggi's body?
David, that is the key question that everyone's been asking. There was no clear explanation. First of all, no mention of it. There was this story that somehow he'd walked out the back of the consulate. Saudi officials now telling ABC News that they passed the body to what they describe as a local contractor, but no details about where that body is and where it was actually taken. Also tonight, we're hearing that a vehicle is now being investigated by the police. The question is this in connection with the movement of that body? And lastly, that big speech by President Erdogan, is there going to be a big reveal? Many questions still unanswered. David?
That could come as soon as tomorrow. All right, Ian Panel with us again tonight. Ian, thank you. Next, here at home into the rafting tragedy that killed 4 Americans and their guide just 5 minutes into that trip on a raging river in Costa Rica. ABC's Victor Oquendo tonight.
New video tonight of the 14 Americans and their guides in Costa Rica moments before their whitewater rafting adventure turned deadly. The group from Miami on a bachelor party. The video also shows the popular Naranjo River raging following days of heavy rain. Minutes into the ride, all 3 rafts capsized. One survivor telling ABC News, "All of us were careening down the river with life jackets and helmets, just trying to stabilize and find something to hold on to." But 4 of the American tourists and a local guide disappeared into the rapids. Authorities searched for hours by air and by boat, eventually recovering all 5 bodies just before nightfall. The bachelor, Luis Beltran, survived, but his brother Sergio Lorenzo did not, nor did friends George Caso, Ernesto Sierra, and Andres Dennis. The bachelor's fiance posting this photo on Instagram, the caption saying, "What was supposed to be a celebration for the best day of our life turned into a nightmare." Now these families face the tough task of bringing their loved ones back to the United States. The rafting company is under investigation. David?
Victor, thank you. We are watching a major hurricane at this hour. It will affect the U.S. mainland. Right now it's in the Pacific. Hurricane Willa, a Cat 4 storm, winds at 155 miles an hour, on track to slam into Mexico and then pound Texas with tropical rain as it moves across the U.S. And this is video just in tonight from south of Puerto Vallarta. Heavy rain and flash flooding already in the mountains. Just incredible. So let's get right to Ginger Z. She's tracking it, of course. That video came into you just moments ago.
Yes, and this is the 10th, David, major hurricane in the Eastern Pacific just this season. It's been a very busy one. We're already on Willa, and you can see it here. It should make landfall tomorrow evening. By tomorrow evening, just south of Mazatlan, the track takes it inland. It could come with life-threatening storm surge, up to 18 inches of rain. But then the mountains of Mexico shredded apart, wind-wise, not moisture-wise, because it could pool into the hill country of Texas, dumping more than 4 inches on an area that had 12 to 15 inches just last week.
All right, tracking it through the night, Ginger, thank you. Well, just 2 weeks left tonight until the crucial midterms. Will Democrats be able to take back the House? Do they have a chance at the Senate? With Republicans controlling the White House, the Senate, and the House, of course. Tonight, one key race in Texas, the race for Senate, pitting Senator Ted Cruz against Democrat Beto O'Rourke. Once calling Cruz Lion Ted, President Trump says he's lying no longer. He's now helping him in Texas tonight. So Paula Ferris with the state of the race. 2 weeks to go. She's one-on-one tonight with both candidates.
President Trump heading off to Texas tonight to help his one-time nemesis, Senator Ted Cruz.
Lion Ted lies. Oh, he lies.
Their battle was bitter, so today, our John Carl asked,
Is he no longer Lion Ted? To me, he's not Lion Ted anymore. What is he now? Beautiful Ted. Beautiful Texas. I call him Texas Ted.
We traveled to Texas to ask the senator about his complicated relationship with the president.
You have said that he is utterly amoral, that he's a serial philanderer, a pathological liar. Are those things not true anymore?
Look, I have no interest in revisiting the comments of 2016.
You've moved on.
I've got a job to do, and my job is forward-looking.
Is he your friend? Is he your foe? How do you describe the relationship?
He's the president.
Cruz is banking on Trump to rev up the Republican base because his rival, Congressman Beto O'Rourke, with his cheering crowds, is energizing Democrats.
We just literally show up everywhere, all the time, for everyone.
He's raised a record $38 million in just 3 months, using some of it on ads all shot on an iPhone.
Just human beings, real people making this happen.
It's been nearly 25 years since a Democrat won statewide in Texas. And O'Rourke is pro-gun control, pro-abortion rights, and pro-immigration.
You say you want to secure the borders. Can you do that without a wall? Can you do that without militarizing the border?
So we don't need a wall, to answer your question. We don't need to militarize the border. If things are so desperate in Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, that someone would risk their lives to come here, then what can we do to improve conditions there?
On immigration, Cruz has been in lockstep with Donald Trump, but he tells me he'll push back if the president reinstates his family separation policy.
If it comes to it, will you say, President, this isn't the right policy?
Well, listen, I've been very clear to the president. We need to enforce the law, but we should also keep families together.
This is a fascinating race. A lot of people watching it, not just Texas, but the whole country. Paula with us now, and we've seen it in Beto O'Rourke's campaigning, a sharper tone in these final weeks as he tries to close